do. Let's go live. Let's go live. I apologize for being late, but you know how it is. Happy Tuesday, guys. This is our weekly Tuesday takeover where we cover a variety of hot topics, reality TV news. I'm a little disappointed because I completely to rewatch Traitors. I watched it already 2 times, but I wanted to rewatch, but I remember everything, but it's so good I could rewatch it. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé. We're going to talk about 90 Day The Single Life. We're going to talk about Below Deck, the season finale, Below Deck Med. Below Deck is coming in February. Great news, right? Come on. We have a lot always to talk about. As always, be sure to let me know where you're watching from. If you're listening to this, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know where you're watching from and your reaction to all of our hot topics and reality TV news that we have to get into. Today's show is very similar to what, shout out to everyone that will be at the New York City show this Thursday. Today's show is going to be somewhat like that, but a little bit more explicit in person. Come on now. I can't wait because I never know what I'm going to say. Look, I could sit here and plot and plan what I want to say for our live show for Kempire After Dark, but I just wing it. I just like to have a guideline of where I want to go, but then I'm just going to go, woo, because I know you guys are going to go, woo. All right? Meow. Okay. Speaking of meow, we have to talk about 90 Day, The Single Life. Oh, gosh. All right. Shout out to everyone that's already in the live chat on YouTube. Shout out to those of you who are watching on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Those of you that are watching on Twitch and on Twitter. And, of course, those of you watching behind the scenes here on TikTok. Shout out to our King's Guards. Shout out to our channel members. And shout out to those of you that already seen my video that I posted about Melody Holt confirming that she is the one that it got that warrant for Martel Holt's arrest. Oh, we'll talk briefly about it as well. All right, we'll talk briefly about that as well. But if you missed our full video on that, be sure to check that out here on YouTube exclusively. All right, so let's get into our Tuesday takeover because we have a lot of good news to talk about. We have a lot of bad news to talk about. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we do that, be sure to let me know where you're watching from and any of your good news. Let me know your good news in the live chat and if you're listening to this on Twitter.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Happy Tuesday, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. If you're listening to this, be sure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I love seeing everyone's good news in the live chat. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your good news as well. All right, if this is your first Tuesday takeover, this is where we cover a variety of pop culture news. We also talk about some reality TV shows. We will be posting the timestamps for those that just want to go to specific things that you want to talk about. Specifically, those of you that have been hitting me up on Twitter, asking me, Kempire, have you done a recap on the Traitors? I have. Last week we started. This week we will talk more about it. But I did do a TikTok exclusive where I talked for like almost 3 minutes. I know you're like, 3 minutes, that's not a lot. Well, it's a lot when you jam-pack it on a short-form platform. So be sure to check that out on TikTok. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok as well. But before we get into Traitors, you know we love to start off the show with some good news. Of course, my good news, My very first live show here in New York City, Kempire After Dark, will be happening this Thursday. I think tickets might be maybe one or two. Go ahead. If you've been waiting and you haven't gotten your tickets yet, head on over there right now. Head on over there right now. Go get a ticket. I think we only have a couple more meet and greets left. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Go head on over there. We got a lot of sold out stuff too. All right. So be sure to check that out. If you are going to be in the New York City tri-state area, head on over to the Green Room 42's website or the link in the description of this video or audio and get your tickets for Thursday's show, not tomorrow. Got a lot of things to talk about at Thursday's show. So that's my good news. Again, I want to know your good news as well. All right. All right. What else? What other good news is there to report in like pop culture? Any good? Oh, yes, I do. Look. It's one of the stories. Look. Jennifer Hudson and Common have confirmed their relationship. I don't know how I feel about this. Look, I don't know how I feel about this. We know Common has been linked to some amazing women in Hollywood. Some amazing women. All right? Just go down the list. I can't even think of Angela Rye, Serena Williams. Who else? I can't think of all the names. Oh, Tiffany Haddish. Okay, well, shut up. Move on. Next, name someone else. Jennifer Hudson, and EGOT. No, she's still amazing. Come on, leave Tiffany alone. Well, they decided to confirm their relationship on her daytime talk show, The Jennifer Hudson Show. And look, I'm happy for Jennifer. I think Jennifer is immensely talented. I don't think she's a great talk show host, but I think she's a talented in so many other areas, okay? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I think a lot of people are worried for Jennifer because, Erykah Badu, thank you forever, Tyranny. I couldn't think of Erykah because that was so long ago. That's like when his mess started. But a lot of people are worried for Jennifer because of his track record with so many amazing women. And she's amazing. She's an EGOT. All right. She went from losing American Idol, like losing early in American Idol. Okay, not early, but she was a finalist. From losing American Idol to becoming an EGOT, a Tony Award-winning performer, an Oscar-winning performer, Emmy-winning performer, daytime talk show host. She's added it. Look, she's added it to her list. I mean, she's not very good at it. Oh, come on. Can we be honest? Damn it. So as soon as I saw that she was going to announce this relationship on, oh yeah, I forgot he dated that lady Laura Dern. Damn. Allegedly. I don't remember if they confirmed it or not. And usually he doesn't really confirm his relationships. So I thought to myself, is this just a ploy to get some ratings for the Jennifer Hudson show? And see. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wish her the best. Maybe this is the one. He said he had to really, he had a certain level of woman that he had to get. She had to be an EGOT. She had to have her own daytime talk show. She had to win her first Oscar on her first major motion film. She seems happy. I'm happy for her. Look. I'm happy for her. She looks happy. What's up with Jennifer? Can I ask you a question, Jennifer? Jennifer, come here. Jennifer, come a little closer. Jennifer, I need to ask you a question. Why did you start wearing these prescription glasses this season? Was it to make us think that you were like, are we supposed to automatically think that you're a talk show host now with the glasses? I don't know. Maybe she got an infection from her contacts. I don't know. But what I do know, I'm asking a question. Just ask your question. I still love Jennifer Hudson. If you didn't see Jennifer Hudson in her film where she portrayed Aretha Franklin, she did an amazing job. She's an amazing actress and singer. All right? Robin says, Kempire, he is promoting a book. Yeah, of course he was going to go in there to promote something. He didn't have to promote their relationship, though. Just saying. All right. Anyways. Anyways, congratulations, Jennifer. I hope I won't have to bring out the woo woo woo, Jennifer. Or maybe I have to bring out the woo woo woo, Common. You lost Jennifer Hudson. Anyways, moving on. Look, moving on. Well, that's good. Some good news. That's some good news. All right. But since we're talking about Jennifer Hudson, the only perfect segue is to talk about Beyonce. Let's talk about Beyonce. Oh, Beyonce. This is not really about Beyonce. This is about Beyonce's mama. Always getting Beyonce in trouble. Always getting Beyonce in trouble. Because now Beyonce's mama, seemingly people believe, is shading Janet Jackson. Which I don't understand why we're even having a conversation about Janet Jackson and Beyonce in the same situation. Okay? Because, you know, look. Shout out to our friends over at the Atlantic Black Star. They write this: Tina Knowles' social media activity has turned into a hot topic among two fan bases. After two fan bases? We can't like them both? Okay, anyways. After she liked a cutting post suggesting that Janet Jackson is peddling in overpriced concert tickets for the second leg of her Together Again tour. So as you know, I missed the first leg of Janet Jackson's tour because I was in London at the time. I'm not going to miss it this time. I need to see Janet Jackson in person, okay? So they said the icon announced that she would be hitting the road for a 35-date run this summer with rapper Nelly as her special guest. Jackson returned to the stage last year after a hiatus, selling out 36 shows with Ludacris. According to Variety, the 2023 tour was the highest-selling jaunt of Jackson's career. That's saying a lot because she... Janet Jackson. After all these years, she's having the biggest selling of her career? Come on now. So tickets to her upcoming show, which begin in June and are scheduled to conclude in late July, went on pre-sale on January 17th. I'm already late, damn. And general sale on January 19th through various live entertainment ticket distributors. So contingent upon the venue, admission can be as low as $59 or surpass $1,000. For instance, at Inglewood's Kia Forum, the best seat is going for $1,099, and the most economical seat for $59.95. VIP packages for the same venue are priced between $449.95 and $699.95. All right, shelling out hundreds or in some cases more than $1,000. I pay $1,000 to see Janet. I'd pay $1,000 to see Janet. Janet still has it. Okay. To attend Janet's show struck a nerve with some, including one of Tina's friends. Letty Chavez shared a screenshot of VIP seating options for an undisclosed venue that boasted prices as high as $2,399.95. We got the screenshot. So let me bring this up for you guys so you can see what we're referring to. All right? All right? This is a screenshot. So, people had things to say. All right? Some of those things included, what a joke, they add $1,000 for a 15-second meet and greet. Not front row for fans unless you want to bend over so that they continue to rake in the cash. You want Beyonce prices, have real production. Just disgusted. I'm not the only one. Oh, the DMs I'm getting. Way to thank your fans for years of support, wrote Chavez. The post was liked by Beyonce's mother, which set off many. Do you think that maybe she was randomly liking posts and didn't realize what it said? Look. Do you think maybe she was randomly liking posts? Because usually Tina Knowles is about uniting the fan bases. You know, there was a big debate on the Holt during this summer when both Taylor Swift and Beyonce were performing and they were setting all kinds of records and people were trying to separate them. One was better than the other. And we were like, that's no conversation. And Tina was the first to come out and says, no, they're both doing amazing things. So maybe, I'm going to try to give Tina some grace. I mean, this isn't the first time there's been some shadiness between the fan bases when it comes to Beyonce and Janet Jackson. Zaza says she purposely liked it. But why would she do that? Why would she do that? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I don't know what I believe here. Look, I don't know what I believe here. I'm going to say that she accidentally liked it. Well, Tina's friend chimed in saying, and why do people keep trying to call out my friend Tina for liking my post? People on here making comments agreeing with me, but nobody calls them out. And let's not forget, Beyonce gives you almost 3 hours. Janet gives you the minimum an hour and a half. Look, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? First of all, we already know there would be no Beyonce without a Janet Jackson. All right? She has paved the way for a lot of these pop girls, even before Beyonce. But we love us Beyonce. That's not taking away from Beyonce's legacy. I just feel it is messy if Mama Tina did purposely do that. Jasmine said, nah, Kempire, there's no accidental liking. Yes, there is. We've talked about this before where sometimes just to kind of keep the algorithm going, you're just liking stuff, like comments under your post. Okay. Maybe not. Look, maybe not. Look, I tried. Mama Tina, do better. You grown. Mama Tina, you grown. You're grown. Speaking of grown. Look, speaking of grown. All right. I do want to point out BetterHelp. BetterHelp is sponsoring today's live show. Shout out to them. As I said to you guys before, if you've seen some of our previous BetterHelp ads, I have decided at the end of last year that I needed to be proactive when it came to my mental health, and partnering with BetterHelp was a perfect combination because I've tried out the service, brief questionnaire. They matched me with a licensed therapist very quickly. I wanted to bring this to you guys so that you had access to this as well. All right. So as I said to you guys before, it was my intention because I wanted to do better for myself, especially with the kind of job that I have, but especially with the topics that we cover here on the channel. I thought it was important. I also thought it was important to talk about therapy as a black man, a black gay man, talking about this, especially for our community. All right. So we partnered with BetterHelp. As I said before, if you've been thinking of starting therapy, I think you should give BetterHelp a try. As I said before, it's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And here's the thing. You can switch at any time at no additional cost. Because sometimes you got to feel this out. This is sort of like finding the perfect match, all right? But that's where the questionnaire that they ask questions that you probably wouldn't even think about asking yourself about the things that you want and need in a therapist or that you need for your mental health. So that's what the questionnaire is there for. But if you're not feeling your licensed therapist, you can switch at any time at no additional cost. So, as BetterHelp loves to say, become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. All right? Visit BetterHelp.com/Kempire today to get 10% off of your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Kempire. More information will be available in the description of this video. And thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's live show, our Tuesday takeover. All right. Thank you. Yes, exactly. S.Diva says, shout out to BetterHelp. Black folks need therapy too. Life is be lifing. Exactly. Exactly. Again, more information will be available in the description. Let's get back to the show. So you guys will let me know what you think about in regards to Tina Knowles. All right. Also, sidebar. Rest in peace to Dexter Scott King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s youngest son. He passed away after a battle with prostate cancer. I saw his sister, Bernice King, was mourning his loss on social media as well. Guys, this is why I always encourage you as well, not only when we talk about mental health, make sure that you're going for your annual physical. You know, we were just talking about this last night on Married to Medicine and the importance of bedside manner and things like that with your doctor. If you don't feel comfortable with your doctor, if you feel when you go in with your doctor, you feel uncomfortable, that means you probably need to find a different doctor. Sorry, Dr. Jackie. Sorry, Dr. Jackie, but not sorry. Eulette says, Mama Tina being messy. She knows what she's doing, Kempire. I guess I'm just trying to be nice today. Can I be nice today, y'all? Can I be nice today? I won't be nice on Thursday at Kempire After Dark. Can I be nice? I'm just trying to be nice. I'm hoping. Like, I just wouldn't see what would be the point. What would be the point? All right. Moving on. Rest in peace to Dexter Scott King. All right. Can we talk about the Oscars? Oh, Lord. The Oscars came out and everyone already is talking about the snubs. So Fantasia was snubbed. Greta Gerwig was snubbed. You know, she directed the Barbie movie, which I watched on the flight to Japan. All right. Fantasia was snubbed. Greta Gerwig was snubbed. Margot Robbie was snubbed for Best Actress as well. Look, I wasn't snubbed. I got my Oscar. Okay. Danielle Brooks, though, was nominated. She played Sophia in The Color Purple. The Color Purple got a few nominations. But let's be real. Back in 1981, when The Color Purple was nominated for 12 Oscars, they should have won. They should have swept. But then I recently saw an interview that Whoopi had done a while ago. She said the reason why they didn't win was because of our own people, the NAACP, because they didn't like that there was a lesbian kiss in the movie. So she said that was part of the campaign between the NAACP, Spike Lee, and them. That was part of the reason why they ended up not winning. Damn. Jenny, well, wait. I got to get Jenny's comment. Jenny says, or Jen says, Kempire trying to redeem himself from twerking on a fence yesterday. I feel like I'm twerking on a fence right now with Mama Tina. I twerk on the fence religiously. All right? Get your merch. Look, get your merch. So, quite a few snubs. Do you think that it's hard for me. Here I go twerking on a fence. It's hard for me to say someone deserves to be nominated for an Oscar if I haven't seen all the movies. And I know a lot of people will say, oh no, this person was definitely snubbed, and they haven't seen these other performers, these other performances in these movies. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this person was snubbed and this person deserved it. What I will say, based off what I've seen, in the Barbie movie, I think Greta Gerwig definitely deserved an Oscar nomination. What she did with that movie was amazing. Margot, I love Margot Robbie. I think Margot Robbie has had some phenomenal acting moments. I don't feel like Barbie was her best. Look, I don't feel like Barbie was her best. But again, I haven't seen all of the people nominated. Maybe in comparison to the rest of them, it was her best. Look. But to be honest with you, I don't feel like that was her best. But the Barbie movie's going to walk away with something. They're nominated for Best Song twice. Even though I think Billie Eilish should win it. I love her song. I don't care about that Ken song. I get it. It was like a trending song. All right? Wait. Come on, hold on. You guys are hilarious. Lou says, you percolated on the fence with Tina. Not me percolating on a fence. Lord have mercy. That's hilarious. You guys are hilarious today. Did you guys have your coffee? What's in your coffee today? All right. So the Oscar snubs, a lot of people are saying that Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig were snubbed. I definitely think Greta was snubbed. I think she's a very talented director. But like I said, I don't feel like Margot was. Fantasia, again, look, shame on me. I was away when The Color Purple came out. I still haven't seen it. I do plan to see it. I want to see that. I want to see The Book of Clarence. I want to see American Fiction. Maybe this weekend. Maybe after I kill it on Thursday. Maybe after I kill it on Thursday, I will, take Friday off and go and actually do something for myself and go watch some of these movies. All right? Nicole says, I'm Just Ken is a moment. It was okay, but we have to remember that this is a song category. It's a song category. I really love the Billie Eilish song from the movie. All right? I think that's a beautiful song. I think she's so hauntingly talented. Her voice is so hauntingly talented. For me, that's the one I would want. That's the one I would want. You're right, Miss Esquire. This is actually her second snub, Greta, right? Why don't they like her? Look, why don't they like her? Well, let me say congratulations to Danielle Brooks. I don't think Danielle will win it, unfortunately, because Divine Joy Randolph has been winning all the awards this season for Best Supporting Actress. She's also nominated for the Oscar. I think she's going to get it, but you just never know. I think Danielle Brooks is immensely talented, though. All right. Crystal says, Color Purple's on Prime. I know, but I kind of want to see it in theaters because it's such a big production. So I kind of want to see it in theaters. But maybe I will watch it on Prime. You don't test me with a good time. You know, I would love to be in my house cuddled up watching a movie as opposed to going to the theater with those germs. All right. Anyways, congrats to everyone nominated for an Oscar. I look, I'm gonna pretend. This is my personification manifestation Oscar. One day, and you all will be here and will remember this. They will clip this video and says, he said it. What will it be for? I don't know. I'm an actor. Congratulations. All right, let's move on. Let's get into some reality TV talk. Because it was the season finale, I want to talk about Below Deck. I really enjoy Below Deck. I know some of you you're not even into Below Deck, but shout out to Kyle. Kyle, you are so damn dramatic, but you really carried this season on your back. He really did. He was so damn dramatic this season. I don't know why he had such a dramatic response to Natalia coming back. But Natalia, your return, because they kept on talking about it and they kept on hyping it up the last few episodes of Below Deck Med, it felt so woo 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 womp 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 womp. Look, womp womp womp. It felt so like anticlimactic when Natalia finally showed up. It was like, first of all, what the hell you got on? Secondly, who cares? Jessica, like, part of me wants to go, woo, 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 Jessica, but I don't know why. First of all, why would we automatically believe, or why would Kyle believe that Luca was having flirtatious texts with Katie? Did you actually see the text? All you saw was Luca's response to the text. It's not like you overheard him say something to Katie. It was kind of giving, it's the last few episodes. Let's make it interesting. Let's do something a little, let's cause some sort of drama. These last few episodes felt like that. And Below Deck, you're above that. Below Deck Med, you're above that. Because my thing is like, why jump to that conclusion? And why, Jessica, would you jump to the conclusion unless you saw it for yourself? Based on what he was saying, I'm like, and I get it. I think she was already insecure dating Luca. So I think she would believe anything that someone would say that was negative about him. But at that point, Luca hadn't really done anything. Yes, he was talking to Natalia. Was he being flirtatious with Natalia? A little bit. But they weren't in an exclusive relationship either. And I think he would have been faithful to Jessica during this season. But that's it. Look, that's it. But she decided to believe Kyle because Kyle was a pot stirrer. Do you think that Kyle would be a good chief stew? No, I think he's great at stirring the pot. And as a chief stew, you can't stir the pot. I think Kyle is great at his job, though. You know what I mean? I think Kyle is definitely great at his job. Speaking great at their job, Toomey, come on, girl. And I know what some of you are thinking. She didn't really bring a lot this season. No. We don't need everyone bringing the mess. That's why we have Kyle. But she definitely brought us great confessionals, great conflict with Natalia in the beginning of the season. She dealt with a lot in this season finale because they couldn't leave the dock. So the entire crew were like trying to entertain these charter guests. We had that one couple that seemed to hate each other. They seem to hate each other. So they had to really entertain these folks. That's a great thing about Below Deck and Below Deck Med is that it's in reality, these are real charter guests and you have to entertain them. You have to really work. You have to really know what you're doing on this yacht. Lily and Max. I still don't have a photo for either one of them, which is fine. You know who I'm talking about if you're a Below Deck Med fan and you watch this season. Lily and Max, they had one job to do, get the phone party going. These two were a hot mess. Max overheard what Toomey's had to say in regards to, I hope he's able to do it. He's like, what does she think I'm an idiot? Only for him not able to even get the phone party going. We had to have Kyle get the phone party going. A mess. Miss Bernice says that Toomey was on Watch What Happens Live last night looking gorgeous. Yes. Shout out to Toomey. We love Toomey. And I want to see Toomey come back. I did see that they announced. Remember, I asked you last week, what's next? Is the new season of Below Deck happening? It is. February 5th, the new season of Below Deck will be happening, and this will be where we will talk about it on our Tuesday takeover. All right? Foxy, yes, Captain Sandy and her girlfriend are getting married. Congratulations. Look, we talked about Captain Sandy this season as well. I felt like she wasn't as tough as I would like her to be. And a lot of you said that she's changed over the years. She really read the comments about her. So she's sort of like softened. Yes, she's still somewhat tough, but she really has fallen back. She really has fallen back. I mean, I like seeing a sweeter side of Captain Sandy, but I feel like we could have gotten a little harder with some of these folks. Max, how he was talking back at her and stuff like that. Max is a mess. Lily is a mess. Them hooking up, a mess. Jessica, believing what Kyle had to say about Luca, and then just being a hot mess on the last day, drinking, wanting to hook up with everyone. So Luca, being a Scorpio, did Jessica really believe that she could out Scorpio a Scorpio? Did she really believe that? If he leans into his Scorpio, he could have ruined her. I think Luca still was very nice about the whole situation. I think he was like, all right, fine, go hook up with all you people. I'm going to hook up with somebody over here. I don't think he leaned into his full Scorpio-ness in that moment. Sidebar, I saw some of you say as soon as Toomey mentioned Scorpio, you guys thought of me? Yeah, come on now. All right. Foxy says that Luca is sneaky. I don't think that he's sneaky. Look, I really don't think that Luca was being sneaky. I think Luca was very transparent. They're not in a relationship. But at the same time, I felt like on the yacht, he was focused on her. I think he was focused on her. Did he promise her anything? No, they were going to go spend a couple of days in a hotel room, bang it out a couple of times, and then go their separate ways. Maybe go to Cannes together. Look, I think he was very transparent with her. I think she knew what it was. And the fact that she ran with the narrative that Kyle put in her ear, I was like, come on now. Kyle proved nothing. And even on Watch What Happens Live a couple of weeks ago, Luca was like, nothing's happening between him and Katie. Oh, Gigi says that I think Luca is a sneaky link. Look, Oh, I don't know about that. Look, I don't know about that. And I'm not trying to justify Luca doing anything. But here's the thing. I don't feel like they were in a serious relationship, right? I don't feel like they were in a serious relationship. But I thought this was a nice end. It was nice seeing everyone come together, have a good time. We even had, what was it? Not Lily. Lara. Lara joined the crew again. Everybody was sick. Even Lily got hurt on the last day and she had to leave the ship early. Something, they need to sage out that yacht. Something was going on that yacht this season. Everybody was sick. But you know who my MVPs of the season were? Kyle was definitely my MVP. Runner-up was Toomey. Max actually I'm sorry, Max, we never got a photo of you. But people, if you watched the show, you saw who it was. Max was cute, but this is why I always say it's important to know someone's personality. Even Luca, both very cute men. Their personalities, Max's personality is too goofy for me. Luca's personality is too lackluster for me. So they're just like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I'll see you next season. I'll see you next season. All right. Maybe just me? All right. I'll save this conversation for Kempire After Dark on Thursday. Since y'all are too immature to have these big boy conversations. All right. Moving on. All right. Since we're talking about Below Deck. Yes, guys, don't forget tonight we will be live on TikTok for our watch party for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Part 3, the final part of the reunion. I am going to do a special podcast episode talking about the Hollywood Reporter article about the season. So stay tuned for that. So we won't talk about it here. I'll talk about it separately in a special episode for the Kempire podcast. Another reason why you should be subscribed. And if you're listening to this, don't forget you can also get a live version, audio version of the podcast on the Kempire podcast as well if you want to take us on the go. All right? Gigi says Max was like a hyper 5-year-old. I think you're giving him way too much credit. 5? Look, 5? I liked him though. He was the goofy energy that I think that not that we needed, but I don't know. He was good though. He was good. In regards to our watch party tonight, it will be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. PST for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, final part of the reunion. All right. Well, since we're talking about, I'd like to keep things in order. Let's talk about 90 Day Fiancé. Because I don't really have a lot to say this season about this cast. I am really kind of over the cast because it really feels, I know I say this every week, but I still want to talk about 90 Day Fiancé because there's a couple of people still worth talking about. But I'm so over Sophie and Rob. I know there's a rumor that Rob is not as exactly poor as people, as they're trying to portray that he is. I don't care. I don't care about this relationship anymore. I think she's far too young to be getting married. She's 23 years old at the time of this. I don't really care about their relationship. I especially don't care about Jasmine and Gino. They, of course, okay, this week they had a fight, y'all. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Lies! The lies!
Gino and Jasmine had another fight this week. Another fight this week. This time it's about because Gino says to Jasmine, "What did you do to set off his ex-girlfriend?" So of course Jasmine loses it. And then she goes below the belt, he goes below the belt, and then he's like, "Oh, she just needs some time to cool off." And then she finally calls her ex-boyfriend to say, "I can no longer talk to you anymore." What in the pre-produced mess? Deborah says, "I am so over 90 Day Fiancé." 90 Day, y'all better do something because I will stop recapping it. I will stop recapping it. I'm loyal to the franchise because I've loved the franchise over the years, and every once in a while we will get someone worth watching. And at the beginning, it was Ashley the Witch. Okay. At the beginning. But even Ashley's scenes, I'm over. You shouldn't be marrying this man either, Ashley. You guys only solve your problems through having intimacy. And I'm not even talking, I'm talking about physical intimacy. You have financial battles all the time, and the only way that you resolve these issues is through having sex. Tess says Jasmine and Gino are still on the show. Yeah. He quit his job and then bought her a diamond ring, a real one. And I told you, the only reason I feel like he's even on the show is because they make money off of it. And I know some of you are thinking, Kempire, they don't make a lot of money off of this show. A lot of money is different to everyone. A couple of $1,000s is a lot of money to some people. Especially if the job that they had wasn't paying like that. And not only do they get paid for this, they probably join Cameo and they get paid and things like that. Sidebar, I'm on Cameo too. Come on. I am. If you want a birthday wish, an anniversary, or a special message. But some of these reality stars, some of y'all are messy and you want them to say and argue on a video message together. You can do that on Cameo. Just saying. Jasmine says easy money for them to be ridiculous on reality television. Do I believe that initially Jasmine and Gino were a real relationship? I think so. But I think after a while, they decided like this is not going to work, but it works for television purposes. So he's able to bring her to the United States. He's able to make some money from being on this show and sponsored posts probably. But their battles constantly every week, it's not enjoyable to watch. I don't know why producers, you know why? Because people still watch the show. It's still like one of the top shows on Sunday nights. ATX Mel says, this season's so painful to watch. It is. I need them to revamp on some level. And it's not even 90 Days of Single Life, because 90 Days of Single Life, I'm a little over it too. We'll get to that in a second. Sam and Citra. I gotta say something. I've been saying this the last couple of weeks. So finally this week, Sam tells Citra's father about his possibility of him going back to jail. In reality, and look, shout out to those of you that have gone through addiction. Everybody deserves love. But, do you believe that a father would be okay with their daughter marrying someone, not only that had an addiction, went to jail, now has the possibility of going back to jail, and finds out that, oh, he's on this medication because of his addiction that wasn't that far from the past? I believe that this is all a setup for Citra just to get her papers to be here in the United States. And I'm not one of those people that automatically believes that when it comes to 90 Day Fiancé. I really try to give them grace. However, that's what it's feeling like. You're going to look through all of these other red flags because I don't feel passion between Citra and Sam. I don't feel the passion. But maybe I'm wrong. Look, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm a Taurus, so I'm usually never wrong. I don't believe it. The same way I don't believe Nikki and Justin. Because literally Justin this week wanted to try to act like he's the man. You notice how his tone of voice with Nikki, because his friend told him that he needs to be more of the man in the relationship. And all of a sudden he was trying to be more forceful with her. They went horseback riding to relive a moment from their past. And I told you the last couple of weeks, I feel like they're just using the show to be famous. Only, lo and behold, next week, one of his random family members, oh, I see you perform for us. Only for Nikki to perform next week. We didn't ask. First of all, she sounded terrible. Boo! Boo! She sounded terrible. Terrible. So I already know that they're just using this again. Another couple using this to be famous. Over it. Look, over it. Rob and Sophie are still having issues with her mom is visiting, and she's left with her mom because of the issues, because he didn't like what the mom had to say, and he felt like the mom was judging the way that he lives and that he doesn't have a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. Clayton and Annalie. Now the mother's having issues with Annalie because she feels as if she's, she doesn't like her in the house, and she's always speaking Spanish. She's not trying to speak English. The mom has to live with him, apparently, maybe for financial reasons. She's living in the walk-in closet. I've said this week after week. I don't feel like Annalie is really interested in Clayton. I don't know what her intentions are. I don't know if it's so she could be here in the United States. But all I haven't seen passion between these two. Yes, last week she did a sweet moment about posting him finally on her social media. And I thought her message was sweet. But after all this time, now you're just posting him on your social media, haven't told your father about him. So they're in the middle of planning their wedding. We got a good view of that house. What in the hoarder's paradise? That might be the reason why. Look, she probably looked at him in a certain way when he used to visit her, but now she's living with him and she's seeing how he's living. I can see how that might change her mind. Right? That would change my mind. Living like this with all these animals. I got a little clutter on my couch now. That bothers me. You've got clutter in every corner of your house? Foxy said, she's still in the closet? Yes! Literally. The mom sleeps in the closet. Why is she just in the living room? I don't know. Maybe she can't fit in the living room. I don't know. I don't know. Nicole says she's so irritated by him all day, every day, and the mom is giving racist vibes. I mean, you said it. Look, you said it. I don't know. I don't know about this couple. Again, I don't I believe they've already gotten married at this point. Was there anyone else that I want to talk about on this 90 Day Fiancé cast? I'm just ready for the tell-all. Can we just get to the tell-all, please? I'm just over this entire cast. There's no one worth even watching or getting married. Like, I'm not going to be in my feelings when any of these people get married. Or if any of them get married. Some of them are not even close to getting married. Look at Nikki and Justin. They're having their engagement party, but she's just going through the K1 visa process. My thing is, like, why are you even on the show? You should be on before the 90 days. I guess maybe they just had a spot to fill. They had a spot to fill. All right. Since we're talking about 90 Day Fiancé, let's talk about 90 Days of Single Life, because it's another show that I'm just like... 90 Days of Single Life. We didn't see Tyree this week, and we didn't see Natalie this week, which was fine. But Tyree, you going around telling people that you were in a relationship with someone for 4 years and he was a man, you need to give more context. You need to give a little bit more context. But he's the only reason worth watching for 90 Day The Single Life. Him and Debbie. Debbie is back this week. Debbie's dating. She's lying about her age. She's now talking to a guy in Florida, a Cuban guy in Florida. Her scenes with her son this week are cute, worth watching. Do I think that you should drop everything that you're watching and look and to watch 90 Days of Single Life? Not really. There really isn't a lot of couples or people on this season that I think that are worth watching. Chantel, what was up with your makeup in this week's episode of 90 Days of Single Life? It was horrible. That under eye makeup was terrible. And I think that Chantel's a beautiful woman. But Chantel, again, you went to Greece for what? I thought you went to Greece to have a good time. You went to Greece to find another man to put on the 90-day fiancé visa? Because now you're, it's giving storyline. It's giving, I need a check. It's giving, they asked me to do it, so I'm going to do it. I don't understand. You drove all this way to go on a date with this man. She's so strange to me. She is so her mother, Karen. You know Karen from Family Chantel. Like, she is so herself. No, not. It's so cringy watching these scenes with Chantel. It's so cringy, at least for me. Maybe you disagree. John finally meet again. I don't. Oh Lord, I'm not going to talk about John. Because here's the thing, I'm not interested in John's storyline either. I liked John when he was a part of his brother's storyline, but seeing his story play out this season when he was a side character, his single life, we don't care. We don't care. Gigi says it's giving me a headache. Me too. And I hate every week saying I don't care. I'm just hoping every week there's something worth talking about. But there really isn't. The only thing that I want to talk about in regards to 90 Days of Single Life was the fight. Veronica, as you know, is dating, oh my God, I can't even think of Jamal. Thank you. All right. Elephant brain's working. Jamal. You know, Kimberly's son. And you know she had a long relationship with Tim. But Tim has helped raise her daughter. So Jamal's back in town. Jamal's here with his friends that don't live too far away. Jamal's talking about possibly moving to be closer to Veronica, but he doesn't really like it down there. He also doesn't like Veronica's close relationship with Tim. But Tim and Jamal get into a fight. Ew. Look, Tim's personality I've never liked. I feel like he's always too involved in everyone's situation. Be it Veronica, be it other couples, he's always involved in people's situation. Also, his fashion makes my head hurt. What is he wearing? So him and Jamal get into it. Jamal questions him as a father, which I thought was below the belt. Because we have to remember, Tim is not the biological father of Veronica's daughter, but he's been in the daughter's life for years and helped raise her. I'm sure both financially and emotionally. So Jamal trying to square up with Tim. It was giving pre-produced. Even the friends were sort of laughing when they were sort of like coming to each other's face, like in each other's face. The friends were like they couldn't even keep a straight face. And the entire time I'm just sitting here going like this, ew. Meow. Ew. What? Why? Mandy says, does Tim shop at Hot Topic? Remember Hot Topic? Is Hot Topic still open? Roro says, the battle of the eyeliners. I told you, I think Veronica likes a certain type of guy, a certain energy, which is fine. We've talked about this. We're not going to talk about it again this week. I do think that Jamal hit below the belt talking about Tim as a parent. But at the same time, I do think that Veronica and Tim probably have a unhealthy relationship, especially for one that will invite someone else to be in this relationship. But I think Jamal's only on this to be famous too, to get a check. I don't believe that this is a real relationship. But I don't believe any of these relationships. But I mean, based off what we're seeing, I don't believe it. Anyways, that's 90 Days of Single Life. Again, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover. We will be posting the timestamps in the description after the live. So for those that want to talk about certain things or skip over us talking about this, I get it. But then you would have missed my ow. Just saying. You would have missed these little moments. All right. Let's get back into some Hot Topic news. All right. Let me see something. I want to pull up Jeannie Mai and this whole situation with Jeezy because it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better for the whole Jeezy and Jeannie Mai situation. All right. Shout out to our friends over at the Jasmine brand. They write this. It seems the TV personality Jeannie Mai regrets signing on the dotted line of her prenuptial agreement. As you may already know, the 45-year-old and her estranged husband, Jeezy, who's 46, are in the middle of a heated divorce battle. According to reports on Thursday, Jeannie Mai requested for the judge presiding over their case to either deny the Put It On rapper's recent motion to enforce their prenuptial agreement or delay enforcing it to allow her the opportunity to adequately go over everything. Didn't she also girl, hold on, how long was this prenuptial agreement, Jeannie? Because the last report that we did in regards to Jeannie Mai and Jeezy's situation, she was highlighting the infidelity clause within that prenuptial agreement, saying that he allegedly had violated it. So they say this. Reportedly, Jeannie Mai claims that she and Jeezy, whose real name is J. Wayne Jenkins, started negotiating the ins and outs of their marriage contract just days before they tied the knot. Allegedly, the prenup was Jeezy's idea, and Jeannie had to rush to find counsel for the negotiation process. Jeannie, you don't already have a lawyer? Okay. The former lovebirds reportedly signed the legal document the night before their wedding. Due to the alleged quick pace at which everything moved, Jeannie reportedly wasn't able to properly look over the contract, which was supposed to include details of Jeezy's finances, assets, and liabilities to ensure she wasn't getting the short end of the stick in the deal. Her legal filing reportedly reads this. Given the compressed time frame, it was inherently challenging, if not impossible, for either party to engage in comprehensive due diligence. The result being an inability to fully comprehend, scrutinize, and verify the accuracy of the disclosed financial information, and casting doubt on the agreement's integrity. It continues, noting Jeannie's significant concerns about the adequacy and thoroughness of the due diligence process. In addition, Jeannie says that the only documentation Jeezy presented consisted merely of a personal financial statement with approximate values and tax returns. Jeannie adds, notably absent were the comprehensive supporting financial documents that would provide a transparent and detailed view of Mr. Jenkins' assets, liabilities, and overall financial standing. She ends her filing with this, granted Mr. Jenkins' motion to enforce the prenuptial agreement without affording Ms. Jenkins the opportunity for comprehensive discovery would compromise the principles of fairness, transparency, and equitable proceedings that should guide such matter. This divorce is getting very nasty. Very nasty. There have been accusations on both sides in the blogs, not them necessarily. On her side, she did seemingly like she was accusing him of infidelity. All right. Abu says, don't sign contracts before taking time to read everything. The wedding could have waited if that was the case. I mean, now that things aren't good, it's one thing to be like, oh, look, it's getting ugly. It's getting bitter between Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. It will be interesting to see what the court will say, because I believe this was filed in Georgia. It will be interesting to see what the court will say in regards to if this is justification for them not to uphold the prenuptial agreement. Here's the thing. I would think that Jeannie's okay money-wise. Like, who would care, right? If you're financially fine. But maybe she's like, well, now I have a daughter and I need proper support. And the financial agreement, the prenuptial agreement doesn't necessarily cover that. But child support would be a whole separate thing regardless. So I'm trying to understand, is this a money grab, Jeannie? Or are you're done with your side course and now you're like, come on, she said it on the reel. I'm not making this up. I mean, that should have been Jeezy's first inclination. When you say something like that, I'm always going to look at you with the side eye. I couldn't be in a relationship with you. Me personally. Because then I'm feeling like a fetish and not your main entree. If you said something like that and then try to backpedal on it. And I'm not going to sit here and act like Jeezy's innocent because she's accusing him of cheating. And allegedly she has proof. But I'm wondering if she doesn't have the proof, if now she's saying the prenuptial agreement should be null and void because she didn't have enough time to read it. You know what I mean? So maybe she doesn't have the proof. Because if she had the proof, then it would be null and void, right? Look. Here I go twerking on the fence. Get the merch. Because I can see both sides of it. I'm not saying that Jeezy's innocent here. I'm not saying that Jeannie's innocent either. Because like I said, we've been covering this story for months now. If you miss any of our reports on this, we even go all the way back to what Jeannie said on The Real. All right? We're going to continue. Look, we have to remember that these two have a very young daughter that they have to co-parent. Another situation where people have to co-parent that needs to be, handled with kid gloves because you have a kid. You can't get too nasty and ugly because you have to co-parent with this person. All right. Speaking of co-parenting, can we talk about Keke Palmer and Darius? Well, it's not really about Darius. It's more about Darius's brother. Again, shout out to our friends over at the Jazz and Brand because they're reporting this first. Well, one of the first, I should say. So according to their report, they said it looks like the entire Jackson family is feuding with beloved actress Keke Palmer. As you may already know, the Nope star is currently in a heated custody battle with the father of her almost one-year-old son, Darius Jackson, who's 29. In November of last year, Keke Palmer was granted a temporary restraining order and temporary sole custody after submitting evidence to the court of the alleged abuse she endured while dating Darius for 2 years. So Darius has maintained his innocence and even filed a counterclaim arguing that Keke Palmer was the primary aggressor in their relationship. So earlier this month, the restraining order Keke received against her ex was reportedly extended by 6 months as their follow-up hearing was delayed for them to engage in the mediation before a judge. However, the reported mediation sessions don't appear to be a sign that the unfortunate situation is anywhere near over. Because according to new reports, Darius Jackson's brother, Insecure star Saranis Jackson, recently filed for a restraining order against Keke and her mother, Sharon Palmer. It's reported that he wants the mother-daughter duo to stay at least 150 yards away from him, his family, his home, and his workplace. In addition, he reportedly wants Keke to not speak publicly or privately about him or his family. So you have to know, when we've covered this whole Keke Palmer and Darius situation, Saranis, Darius's brother, has been accused of similar behavior that Keke's accusing Darius of. Serranis and Darius' own mother has a protective order against their father, current. So it's showing pattern. I learned this from Sesame Street. Look, there is a pattern here. So Serranis Jackson, who's 33, alleged in his filing that Keke harassed him with false accusations in an email sent to Darius' lawyer on January 11th. He allegedly wrote in his request, she has made foul claims that I have S8 claims on me when I do not. I have never done such a thing. Serranis, who is currently dealing with his own custody battle with his former co-star, Dominique Perry, continued, Keke Palmer has gone to the media and has used her celebrity to publicly lie on my family and myself, which has resulted in threats. We won't get into the exact kind of threats from the public. And I always say this, if Beyonce can't control the beehive, if Nicki Minaj can't control the barbs, please understand, whatever the Keke Palmer stands are called, she can't control them either. He then adds, she has harassed and stalked my friends and family's social media. She has reached out to people in relation to me to lie on me and my family, has caused career damage. Sir! Sir! People don't even remember you from Insecure. People don't remember you from Insecure. What career? Your career has been damaged, sir. Your career has been damaged. Some people are like, he was on Insecure? All right, sir. So that is the latest update in regards to the Keke Palmer drama situation. Now, Serranis, Darius' brother, wants a restraining order against Keke and her mama. All right, Serranis. Look, I mean, I guess any reason, any sort of excuse is better than none, right? Any excuse is better than none. Let me say thank you, because quite a few of you have sent super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, the Venmos, the Cash Apps. Miss Wynn, you sent an amazing Cash App yesterday. Thank you so much for that. If you see this, if you haven't, but thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for the support. We appreciate it. You can also support the channel by liking the video. If you're listening to this, you can also support by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. All right. Pam, thank you so much for the super chat. Pam says, just want to wish you good luck on Thursday. Thank you. Have a lovely week, and don't forget to rest and take care of you. I've been really definitely trying. I tried to sleep in a little bit extra today, but then I woke up and did a video. Now here I am. But it's okay. It's all right. I am trying to rest up, make sure I take care of the voice. Make sure I can stay up for a 9:30 show on Thursday. Shout out to all of you that are going to be there with me. I appreciate it. Natalie, thank you so much for the super chat. Natalie says, I have a VIP ticket for the New York show. I can't go to my son's concert. I can't go. My son's concert is the same day. I would love to donate to a viewer. Sad to miss, but happy to support. Natalie, I wish I could help you get this to a viewer, but we are dealing with so much management of the live show. If there's anyone within the live chat that you can connect with, please do so. It just makes my life a lot easier. So many of you hit me up. Kempire, we would love to. I am managing a lot, y'all, with very little of a team. I appreciate all of you that want to donate and do. That is fantastic. But y'all don't realize how much that is on me to manage, to make sure this person knows that I already have a lot going on, plotting and planning, producing, hosting, and starring in a show. But Natalie, I appreciate that. So if you guys want to connect with Natalie and you wanted to come to the show, please feel free to connect with her in the live chat. All right. All occasions. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says donating in honor of Foxy. Yes. Thank you so much. All occasions. We appreciate the support. Andrea, thank you so much for the super chat. Andrea says Fantasia she wasn't snubbed. I thought she was snubbed. I didn't see her name in the Best Actress nominations, Andrea. Did I miss something? I didn't see that. All right. Thank you, All Occasions, for the donations for our King's Guards. We appreciate the support. Shout out to Mama Allie. Jenny, thank you. So, All Occasions, another donation for Jenny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, hold on. Another one for Jasmine. Shout out to Jasmine. All right. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, so sick of Nikki and her clicking fingernails from 90 Day Fiancé. Thank you, Julie, for the super chat. All right. Let's go back here. All right. Oh, Andrea says, oh, she didn't deserve a nomination. See, again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say that. I can't say that she didn't deserve a nomination. I mean, for her rendition of I'm Here, that song should have been nominated. I don't think that was, you know. Oh, Miss Esquire said the shade of that comment. You didn't catch it, Kempire. Oh. I haven't seen the performance, so I don't know. All right. See, Kalani says the same thing. Her performance wasn't Oscar worthy, in my opinion. That's why she wasn't snubbed. Okay, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen The Color Purple yet. Maybe I need to watch it today on Prime to see. But this also was her first major motion picture film. All right. I think people think it's a snub because she was nominated in so many other award places. So, anyways. But yeah, Daniel Brooks is definitely nominated. All right. Thank you guys so much for the super chats, but you can also support the channel by liking the video, sharing the video, subscribing so you don't miss out on any of our live shows. Make sure that you're still following by making sure that you're still subscribed, because sometimes here on YouTube, they will unsubscribe you and you won't even realize it. Make sure your notifications are on. If you're not getting notifications, turn them off, then turn them back on. Sometimes that helps as well. All right. Moving on. Since we were just talking about Jeannie Mai and that situation, let's talk about the Melody Holt situation. All right. So we talked briefly in a separate video. So if you missed my video, I play the full clip of Melody and a recent show that she did with Carlos King for her millimeters. All right. And she confirms that she is the one that filed the complaint against Martel Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville. So remember, we were speculating. We were like, I wonder who was the person that turned in Martell. And, you know, who was he making these harassing complaints, harassing text messages about? All right. Apparently, it was Melody. She confirms that she had done this back in August or September of last year. She had made the complaint, but her attorney said, you know where he lives. You can have the police go to his house. But she was like, no, I'm just going to leave it in the hands of the Lord. And apparently, whatever Martell went to go do, he got picked up. And that's when he got arrested a couple of weeks ago. As you know, he's released a statement. He didn't confirm that it was Melody. Melody is the first person to confirm this. Carlos is also confirming. You remember the recent post that Martell posted on his Instagram in the season finale. He was like, oh, the producers asked me to bring roses and they're trying to make me look like a fool and it's not reality. Carlos slammed him during this Millimeters celebration event, saying that that's not true. And he seemed really upset about it. He also confirmed that Melody confirmed that Carlos would always have security on set anytime that Melody was filming with Martell. And I was thinking to myself, like, so if y'all felt y'all really needed security with Martell, why is Martell on the show? But I'm wondering, after what Martell did recently on Instagram, because he also alluded that, oh, the fact that I'm coming out with this, I might not have a job. I'm wondering if we will not see Martell next season of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yeah, I heard he did an interview with Tasha. I haven't seen it, not really interested. Because here's the thing. I would probably be more interested in what Martell had to say if he ever told the truth. He consistently lies and gaslights his baby's mother and ex-wife. Look. But you thought I was just like, nope. I think he gaslights both of them. And he gaslights the audience. And they are in the middle of filming. They are in the middle of filming the season. And I believe Carlos said it with Dr. Heavenly that they are in the middle of filming season 7. So maybe he is a part of season 7. Who knows? Or maybe this is his goodbye. Who knows? Who knows? For all we know, they could be talking about his recent arrest and he's not a part of the season. My thing is if Melody has this complaint and this warrant out for his arrest, I can't see them filming together at least this season. Anne says that they were filming when he got arrested. Well, that could be read two ways. They were in the middle of filming the season and he was arrested, but it wasn't caught on camera. Who knows? Carlos did not seem like he wanted to reveal too much about what's been playing out. We shall see. We will only have to wait and see. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last season. Right? I'm actually surprised if he's coming back this season. They are currently in the middle of filming season 7 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I can confirm that because Carlos confirmed that. All right. I guess we will see. How do you guys feel about that? All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to back to some reality TV talk because I am so loving Traitors. Come on, Traitors. Let's get back to something I enjoy talking about. A show that we can really be happy to talk about. I love me some Traitors. Look, I was a big advocate for Alan Cummings hosting the reunion. But then and I feel a little differently this season. Because I think Alan Cummings, who hosts the actual show, likes being in character. I think the reunion is too real for him. He would have to be like his real self, kind of. So I think that's part of the reason why they have Andy. Well, also Andy's cheaper to do it. But let me tell you, this is the one time that I can root for Phaedra Parks. Come on. Or maybe that. Look, maybe that. Damn. Honestly, I feel like this should have been her comeback. Not Ultimate Girls Trip, not Married to Medicine. She is fantastic on Traitors because all that, oh, yes, I'm a traitor. I'm going to kill him. All of that works for Traitors. Because we love those theatrics. We love those theatrics with Alan Cummings. I mean, he's not doing it, oh, yes. But let me tell you something. Poverty, so this week they had to kill in plain sight. Okay, not kill in plain sight. I don't think I could do it, y'all. I don't think I could do it. Try and convince someone to drink from that rusty cup. I don't think I could do it. I mean, homegirl was working overtime to get someone. And finally she did. I forgot the lady's name. She was on like Love Island, right? Love Island, UK. I can't remember her name. Like it's in the tip of my tongue. You guys will remind me in the live chat what her name was. But here's the thing. She finally got this woman to do it who's actually her friend. And she finally got her to drink from the cup, only for the woman to show up the next day. Only for her to show up the next day. And we're like, I thought I killed her. No, they had to play through the entire day for them to figure out who was poisoned by Poverty. But Poverty and Dan are already working together. Damn you, Dan. Like, I want to root for Dan because I've watched his season 10 of Big Brother, and we'll talk about Big Brother season 6. I got to talk about it. I got to. Ekin-Su. Thank you, Samara. Ekin-Su. Thank you, guys. Ekin-Su is the one who died. And who died. Damn. Not died. Ekin-Su. I knew the name was on the tip of my tongue, but that's not a typical name. She's beautiful though, Ekin-Su. Ekin-Su's back. She's gone. But even before that, did we talk about Larsa being gone? Larsa's gone. Bye, Larsa. Bye, Larsa. I was glad when Marcus left. But Poverty, she's the one who put it out there. in regards to Larsa. I think Larsa is the traitor. And then Larsa got voted out. Oh, woo to Kevin from Bling Empire. Everyone thinks he's dumb. He is. Oh, but when you're dumb, they underestimate you. Even though they were sort of trying to, think that he was a traitor this week. But they know they voted out Larsa. Larsa, though, look, she's not as dumb as she looks. But I was so disappointed that the traitors are already, again, they're traitors, but they're already trying to X out Phaedra and put out the narrative, the housewives are sticking together. The housewives are sticking together. First of all, Phaedra didn't love the fact that they had chosen to poison Ekin-Su initially anyway, because she voted for Ekin-Su to be banished the previous episode. So she's like, oh, now the spotlight's going to be on me, only for Poverty to put the spotlight back on her again. I already told you I wouldn't mind seeing Phaedra win. I also wouldn't mind seeing Dan win. But if I had to choose someone out of the traitors, I like Sandra. I like Sandra's energy. I like the fact that she's won Survivor twice. That's no easy feat. But a lot of you love CT. You know CT from The Challenge, also from the real world. That's how I know CT. I don't even remember his season. I just remember his face. But so many of you are big fans of The Challenge and you know CT. Dude, CT is a fan fave. I'm not going to go back and watch The Challenge. I just got to watch how he is this season. So he's on my short list. He's on my short list to be one of the winners. Who else is on this cast? Who else is on this cast that I might like? Max is gone. I still feel like Johnny Bananas left too soon. Deontay left. Poor thing couldn't handle the game. The boxer on the far right, the black guy, he couldn't handle the game. He left. See, a lot. Sheree's there, but very much like on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, no one cares. No one cares. See, a lot of you in the chat are saying, I love CT. I love CT. I think Peppermint left too soon. I think Bergie is one to watch. MJ from Shots of Sunset, she's one to watch. Janelle, she's a mess. Hold up. Is that the same Janelle from season 6 of Big Brother? No, right? Remember, season 6 is years ago. They're talking about the Iraq War in season 6. It's such a time capsule watching season 6, because I asked you guys, what season on X, I asked you guys, what season of Big Brother should I watch next? So my new bestie, Taylor Hale, told me to start with season 6 and then season 7. So far, season 6? Okay, I'll get to that in a second. I want to focus on the traitors. I'm going to talk about Big Brother next. Is that the same Janelle? Look, is that the same Janelle? That's what I want to know. Because Janelle, she's been very selfish this season. It's the same Janelle? OMG, it's the same Janelle. She looks very different. Look. LaShow said, yeah, it's the same Janelle. And I've heard that Janelle is a Big Brother legend. Don't tell me why. I'm already starting to see inklings on Big Brother 6. It's the same Janelle. You guys are. Now I'm glad I'm watching the season while I'm watching the traitors. Wow. She looks very different, but this is years ago. She still looks good. Don't get me wrong. But the traitors, back to the traitors. I'll get to season 6 of Big Brother in a second. Again, Johnny Bananas left too soon. Tamara's bringing more than poor Sheree. Woo, 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 Sheree. Woo, woo, woo. I can't wait till they vote her out. Vote her out. Ekin-Su's gone. Larsa's gone. Marcus is gone. Good. Now Larsa was trying to throw CT under the bus. Thank God CT did not leave. I'm open to CT. Like, he hasn't turned me off this season. Who's turned me off on this cast this season? Oh, well, Poverty. But I'm not mad at Poverty. I think Poverty actually is a good traitor. Well, at the end of episode 4 of The Traitors, which is available on Peacock for those that aren't familiar, go watch season 1. And I'm not going to tell you who won, just in case for those that haven't seen it. Season 1 is epic. The game that's played is epic. But now we're on season 2. Season 2 of the UK version is also happening at the same time. I can't wait for them to release that on Peacock. Season 1 of the UK is available there, and season 1 of the Australian version. Both worth watching. Peacock, where's our discount code? The end. I'm wondering about Kaser. Okay, let's just start talking about Big Brother season 6. Oh wait, no. Let me finish talking. Mama Allie, don't put Big Brother 6 yet. The Traitors, at the end of the episode, Phaedra gathers Poverty and Dan. She gathers them because she's like, don't you ever throw me under the bus like that again. First, she checks Poverty, but then she lets Dan know you're not innocent either. I can't wait to episode 5. I hate that we have to wait a whole week for episode 5. Leah, I agree. Leah says, hold on, where's Leah's comment? Leah says, watch Traitors season 1 and then watch Big Brother season 25, which just ended. That was a great season. That was such a great season. But season 2 so far, this is the one time that I'm going to root for Phaedra. This is the one time I'm going to root for Phaedra. Because I didn't like it either. It felt a little suspect that they were already ready to throw Phaedra under the bus so quickly. Yeah, she said, don't come for the housewives. Here's the thing. I would have been okay if she had given that rusty cup to Sheree, but it was the way that Poverty was trying to put the light on all the housewives, which would put a light on Phaedra, which isn't fair. But who knows what episode 5 will bring? I wish it was available already. Damn it. I hope I have time before the show on Thursday to watch it so I can talk about it during our live show. I might have to watch it backstage because I want to see it. Are they making it available at midnight now, or are they waiting till 9 o'clock at night to make it available on Thursdays? Because I need to be able to watch it because I can't put the show on hold so I can watch it. Anyways, Makeup says I'm rooting for Faye Faye. That's the only place I'm rooting for her. If you watched my Married to Medicine recap yesterday, I was like, oh, Phaedra's here? All right. Mama Allie says she's not a fan of Poverty. Oh, Conchita says she's the Black Widow. Get her, Faye Faye. I can't wait to see how this plays out because her checking Poverty, I wonder if this is going to cause a break within the Traitors. It's too soon. It's too soon in the game. It is Pure Luxury says at 9 p.m. So I'm not going to be able to talk about it, or at least talk about the newest episode of Traitors on Thursday. Sorry, y'all. Woo woo woo, woo 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 to us. Look, woo 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 to us. It's all right. Let's talk about Big Brother. Big Brother season 6. Big Brother season 6. So, as I said to you guys before, I wasn't sure what's the next season that I should watch. I could start at season 1, but I was like, a lot of you would say no. So, a lot of you have been hitting me up on Twitter and letting me know which season of Big Brother to start. So, as I said to you, my new bestie, Taylor Hale, Big Brother legend herself, okay? Season 24 winner, told me to start with season 6 and season 7. I'm already on season 6. Eric, okay. Michael, creepy, him kissing on the girls. The house almost got into a big old brawl. Big Brother had to sound the alarm and say, everyone go to your different spaces and separate. Big Brother used to be crunk. Because some of the older seasons, like season 10, like there used to be some heated arguments happening in that house. It's also interesting to see, because of the history of things playing out in real life during this time, wasn't it Janelle that used the R word in that season? I went like this. I clutched my pearls last night watching one of the episodes. I said, did she say the R word? It was a different time, y'all. People used to say all kinds of stuff that was not socially acceptable. So, someone says, don't watch Big Brother 15. It was racist. Oh, damn. They end up talking about the Iraqi war in season 6 of Big Brother. Oh, they almost got into a big old house brawl. Why was Kaser squaring up to Annette? I see Kaser comes back. Based off the gifts, when I was trying to do gifts on Twitter, I was like, is that Kaser again? So Kaser comes back looking not as cute as Kaser looks in season 6. It's okay. You know, we all get older. I was like, oh, Kaser looks different. I like Kaser in season 6. I don't know for how. I didn't like that he squared up to a woman. I was like, why are you squaring up to Annette like that? I know Annette, she knows she could be a lot, but why are you squaring up to a woman? Kaser. Eric wanted to fight Michael because he had put Michael on the chopping block. Michael and Janelle were making out, but they're both on the chopping block. The great thing about season 6 of Big Brother is that everyone has the secret, is that they all have someone in the house that they know. So they don't realize that everyone has that secret. It's the summer of secrets. Also, I didn't realize Big Brother gave away $1 million that year. And the runner-up gets $250,000. Really? Wow. How come we haven't gotten better? It should be like at 1.5 million at this point. Why is it lower? Recession? Oh, okay. All right. Just saying. All right. Anyways, guys, you're just joining us. This is our Tuesday takeover. This is where we cover a variety of reality TV news, but also pop culture news. So we just did a report yesterday or the day before yesterday where we talked to you about Wendy Williams. All of you always ask me an update on Wendy Williams. Shout out to our friends over at Chronicle Speaks who got an update from Miss Jones in regards to where the hell is Wendy? Like, what's going on with Wendy Williams? We haven't seen her. We haven't spotted her. And I felt like when we hadn't heard anything, I was like, no news is probably good news. Probably good news. Do I have that clip here? Hold on, y'all. Oh, yeah, here it is.
Chance to talk to Wendy about it. Wendy said that he wasn't taking it in the literal sense. They ended up chopping it up. They became really cool friends, and ever since then, they just been locked tight. Now, Miss Jones, growing more and more concerned about not hearing from Wendy recently, decided to pull up on Wendy's house. And according to her, this is how it went down.
Okay, so yesterday, Wayne made me go and visit Wendy Williams.
I made you go.
Everybody was in on
You know
it.
what? I saw the dick because I kept saying, did you go? Did you go? Did you go?
And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah.
So I pull up. First, I pulled up to the wrong building.
It's been a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had to walk, but it was okay. And so I get there. I go inside. The door people greet me and And I said, this might be a shot in the dark, sir, but I'm here to visit Wendy. And he shakes his head and he goes, you're a couple of months late.
Wow.
She moved. And I said, what? And he goes, yeah, that's all I can tell you. So, I start prying. I'm like, well, did they sell the unit? Is it on the market? Because this was a fabulous duplex. And the building she was living in, which now I can tell you guys, it was supposed to be a hotel originally. And then COVID hit, and they couldn't, obviously, no one was supposed to be in a hotel, so they sold it. And she told me how much she paid for it. I was like, that was such a steal. It was beautiful, 2-floor, 3-bedroom unit. So I thank you, sir. And then I go and I look for the other people that, live in the building,
right,
work in the building.
Start sleuthing.
Yeah. And I got my sleuth on. And they said, well, you know what happened? She was getting better. She was coming around. And then she started getting sick again. And because her family's in Florida,
right,
and people were coming in her circle that they weren't familiar with, and they didn't know, they couldn't get access to her when they wanted, they moved her down to Florida. So she is allegedly down in Florida with her son, recuperating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we wish her
We do wish her well.
Yeah.
And Wendy, if you listening, you won. Diddy go into jail for Easter.
Miss Jones is a mess. Oh, she's a mess. But that's the update. So apparently the reason why we haven't seen sightings of Wendy Williams, you remember the interview that her son did with the Sun, is that when his mom is with him, you don't see her gallivanting or in the news or being pushed out there, allegedly. So that's reason why we haven't seen Wendy Williams recently. Apparently she's back in Florida with her son. So I think that's good. I mean, hopefully she's working on her sobriety and her health. And I know a lot of people are missing Wendy on our TV screens and our radio airways, but I'd much rather her focus on her health before anything else. And then you never know. End of the year, next year, could be the year of Wendy Williams. All right. Speaking of Wendy's, let's talk about Wendy from Dr. Wendy Acefa from Real Housewives of Potomac. So a couple of things. So Wendy was interviewed by our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk and talking about the whole drama with Nneka. And she said this.
Who is Nneka? Why isn't no one talking about that Ashley really started it? Ashley started it.
You know, I think that to some extent she did, but there also was a pre-planned agenda coming in. So I don't think it's 100% Ashley. I think other people have to take accountability.
What's the agenda?
Baby, you tell me, honey.
Because the streets think that she's coming for you because you didn't bring her on as a friend of.
I can only be Dr. Wendy. That's all I can be. I did bring in my amazing friend, Kiana Stewart, who you guys will see more the second half of the season. She's amazing. She's an entrepreneur. She's a business owner. She's fabulous. So, you know.
So, I guess we'll have to only wait and see. We only have to wait and see. I do believe that there was some sort of pre-planned agenda when Nneka decided to come on the show. And if you watched our recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac yesterday, I said to you, the introduction that we should have gotten is what we got this past week on this episode of Potomac. That should have been her introduction, not this beef and shrines and voodoo and all of that with Wendy. I'm okay with them having natural beef, but it definitely feels like it was premeditated beef. It does feel like that. I guess we will have to wait and see how the rest of the season of Potomac goes. But I told you yesterday during our recap, I felt like they had one of their best episodes, only to find out a critical part of the episode was left out. Take a listen. So Candiace dropped by Angela Yee radio show and says that there was a scene cut out from her production. You only have a certain amount of time. But I know that this would have been such a beautiful moment to see play out. And I get it. You only have a limited amount of time, but I'm like, oh, that would have been really beautiful because it's not like we haven't talked about, even in this season, Karen and her mom. It's a Mother's Day event. Obviously, Karen is affected by this. Karen's not just talking about her La Dame perfume. And I get it. You want to have comedic moments, but I think we would have been probably more excited to see this moment that first of all shows another side of Candiace, shows how close Candiace and Karen have become, but also as a follow-up in regards to Karen's story and how obvious it's like Karen's here, her daughter's not here, her mom died, and that has been addressed on the show, but we leave it out. When I saw this clip, I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Candiace. A lot of people are reacting to how Candiace threw a very luxurious, elegant party in like the first of the season. And they were just praising her for it. I was one of those people. I was like, finally, we had a little bit of luxury on Potomac this season. It was a nice party, but it would have been even nicer to see that moment. It would have been really nice to see that moment. Maybe we will. Look, the season's not over. Maybe during the reunion, they will actually show the clip. I know Karen was probably so emotional during that. That was really beautiful. But I feel like they really could have given us a full, beautiful experience by showing that as well. Instead of showing Nneka asking about Wendy or about, I I also saw the clip that Ashley and her mom were on video, but they were recording, and it looked more like they were trying to film the conversation that was happening at the table at this event. I don't care. Ashley's going to be messy. Ashley, you get a divorce yet? Or are you still sleeping with Gullum? What's the update on the lawsuit against Candiace? I know you know something. My goodness. Anyways. Teresa says, what happened to Dr. Wendy's YouTube show? I think it's on hiatus. We talked about that yesterday during our recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac as well. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. And if you want to take our live shows on the go and you want to listen to some of those episodes or some special episodes like the one that we have coming up in regards to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the Hollywood Reporter article, be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast. All right. And again, shout out to our sponsor over at BetterHelp. Don't forget, you can get 10% off today when you sign up for BetterHelp.com/Kempire for 10% off of your first month of therapy with a licensed therapist. More information will be available in the description of the video. All right. All right. Moving on. Sidebar. Speaking of the Housewives, and since we're talking about Potomac, Peter Thomas vows to reopen Bar None in Miami. So Peter Thomas, as you know, we reported recently on how he lost a lawsuit. He's been told to be, to exit the location at Bar None in Miami. This comes after he was recently arrested for DUI. So he's saying that he's had a long-standing relationship with this landlord. He's paid over $600,000 a year in rent with this location. But you just recently lost in court where the court says you got to get out. But he's vowing to reopen Bar None over in Miami. Sir, I think it might be time to hang it up. Look, I think it might be time to hang it up. I can't imagine this landlord having to go through court with you would even want to deal with you again. Yes, you worked with them for years, but now you've taken it to court and they've gotten a judgment against you. Powerful says, I like Peter, but he needs to retire. I mean, he probably can't retire. Does he have retirement funds? Jeezy says he has no money. Like, French Life says, is it Bar One or Bar None? Bar None at this point. He has no bars left. All of them are closed. All of them are closed. All right. Moving on. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. I think like one more story that I want to cover, and that's in regards to 8.5. So Annemarie Wiley, the newbie on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, has been going off on social media in regards to, the American Society of Anesthesiologists blasting her as a fake because Crystal accused her of misrepresenting herself when she first met her, saying that she was an anesthesiologist. So now Annemarie is trying to make it nurses versus doctors situation. But my biggest issue with Annemarie is not about her being a nurse anesthesiologist. She says they're interchangeable. You can call her a nurse anesthesiologist. And look, shout out to all the CRNAs. Because there's been a battle on social media. Oh yeah, she's not wrong. I don't think that she's wrong about the terminology. Apparently, there is some sort of effort to change the narrative around nurses that work in anesthesiology. All right? That's fine. But she's been going off on social media, posting all kinds of stuff. As you can see right here, she's like, CRNAs are safely administer more than 50 million anesthetics to patients each year. Another thing she posted, 10 things you should know about CRNAs. So she was going off on social media in regards to this. She posted all of these different examples of why a nurse anesthesiologist is a thing. She said, and she even said this on the after show. She said on the after show that there is a global campaign, hold on a minute, it's coming in regards to what a CRNA is and how they're, I don't know if she wants to say that they are the equivalent. Some people will say that they're, I don't feel like getting into that. Because to me, now you're just sort of murking the waters of what you're being accused of. All right? Crystal is saying that you said that you were an anesthesiologist, like a doctor. All right? But my biggest issue, I don't care about your title. Shout out to all the healthcare workers, nurses, nurses assistants, physicians assistants. Shout out to the doctors. Shout out to all the healthcare workers. All right? Especially after the pandemic. I think people have suddenly forgot. But all right. My issue with you is that you felt like you were weaponizing. No, we felt like you were weaponizing your medical knowledge, even though anesthesiologists have pointed out that you were incorrect on multiple things in regards to Sutton's esophagus. All right? That was our issue with you. But now you're trying to distract. She did post on her social media an apology saying that now I see the whole situation with the esophagus situation. And now I see how ridiculous it was. And I should have harped on it. I apologize for harping on it. But now you're harping on this whole nurse, anesthesiologist versus anesthesiologist. Girl. Let's not try to make this a nurses versus doctors situation. We get it. Shout out to the CRNAs. Shout out to all the healthcare workers. Shout out to the doctors. That's not what we're arguing about. Not when it comes to you. Not when it comes to you. We don't care about your argument with Crystal in regards to, did you misrepresent yourself? What you did do is weaponize your apparent medical knowledge against Sutton and her esophagus after Kyle Richards put the battery in your back. But okay. Look, okay. Girl. Hey, French Life. French Life says that, she says, I work in the post-anesthesia care unit. I am an RN and the CRNA do administer meds during surgery, but the anesthesiologist is the MD that we contact for anything related to the patient. And I've seen a lot of the CRNAs in the comment section in regards to it. I don't think that we're battling on CRNAs and their responsibility, the level of responsibility. We've said for countless years that nurses don't get enough credit for the work that they do. However, I feel like this is sort of a deflection from 8.5. I feel like it's a deflection from what she's done on the show. But anyways, I've digressed. Did I cover everything that I wanted to cover today? I think I did. We did a fantastic job today, y'all. We covered a lot in a little bit under 2 hours. Yes. If you're part of the replay crew, we will be posting the timestamps in the description so you can skip around to the things that you want to talk about. Maybe it's 90 Day Fiancé, maybe it's the Traitors, maybe it's Big Brother 6, or maybe it's one of the hot topics that we covered during Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget, you can still get tickets, I think, for our New York City show. Head on over to the description of this video for details. Also, on February 16th, we will be in Washington, D.C., taking the Kempire After Dark tour there. So get tickets for that show. That one's selling even faster. Again, thank you to everyone that's bought a ticket. I will see you all on Thursday night. Stay tuned. Tonight, we will go live at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern for our watch party for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Then I will recap it briefly the next day. And of course, stay tuned for our more recaps and more stories here on the channel. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and behind the scenes here on TikTok. We appreciate you all being here. I'm going to go rest my voice because I've been talking a lot already. All right, everyone have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.